Hey, what's going on, folks? Chris from Cinema Hooked, and I finally watched Morbius. So I'm here to tell you what I thought. It's the first time watch for me because honestly, I never planned on watching it until I decided this would be a new series like I did with the Marvels, and it's going to be in a playlist you can find called So I Finally Watched. So let's get into Morbius. Okay, so I finally watched Morbius, part of the Sony Spider-Man universe, and I don't think it deserved all the hate that it got online. I saw the hate, I'm sure you saw the hate. Maybe you saw the movie and you thought, hey, this might be pretty entertaining because this guy's either gonna completely rip it to shreds, or maybe he'll actually speak his mind and actually have like kind of a fresh original take that isn't just conform to everyone else's opinion trying to, get the rage bait, clickbait stuff. And so I just want to give you my genuine thoughts on it. First off, I'm a huge Matt Smith fan. If you've watched some of my other videos, I did a report recently about how Matt Smith was just cast in a Star Wars project in the Ryan Gosling Starfighter series, or movie, I should say. And so I'm a big Matt Smith fan. So the fact that he was cast in this movie already, that was a plus for me. Okay, I really like that actor, so I'm gonna give it a little more leeway. And I thought that Matt Smith's character, Lucien, also referred to as Milo throughout majority of the movie, because that's what Michael's character, who was played by Jared Leto, that's what he called him when they were children, but his real name was Lucien, went by Milo. I really liked the way he portrayed the character, the way the child actor portraying him as a young kid, and then that transferring to when he was adult. Obviously, when they cast that kid, I was like, oh, that's young Matt Smith. Obviously that's young Matt Smith. And we meet Michael, which they were calling him Michael, so we obviously knew who that was supposed to be. Matt Smith, he was great in it. I mean, the writing's the writing, None of these Sony movies have been great to my standards, but then again, I have not seen all of them, but from what I've heard, they're not amazing, and they're going to be eventual entries in this So I Finally Watched playlist. So I still need to do Venom 2. I need to do the third Venom. None of them have been overly impressive except for the Spider-Man movies themselves. Those have been very entertaining, but I think we just refer to those as MCU movies since they technically are in that MCU world. Now, Jared Leto character, Michael, I thought he did a fine job portraying that character. Now, I will say this, I am not familiar with Morbius at all. Never read a single Morbius comic. I wasn't even familiar with Morbius just with this movie being announced years ago. I was just like, yeah, I don't know that character. I like comic books and stuff, but I'm not an expert by any means. And I don't know every single character that's ever been created in the comic world, because that's just, there's some people out there that have that knowledge. It is not me. I know you're kind of mainstream heroes and villains. So Morbius wasn't familiar. So I had no expectations for this movie going into it, other than it got shredded and just torn apart on the internet. And I know me personally, with the TV spots, the trailers, the teasers, when they had that teaser come out where he's standing over the dude and he's like, I am Venom. And he does his little vampire transformation face. I was like, okay, nope, not seeing this. And I didn't see it. I had no intention of seeing that in theaters. Honestly, I planned on dying having never seen it, but I thought that this is a fun new little series to play around with, to watch movies that I otherwise had given up on and had no intention of watching. So also, if you have a recommendation, I bet he hasn't seen this, I'd like to see what he thinks about this movie, because maybe there's a movie out there that you love that was critically torn apart or massively hated on, but you like it and you just want to hear what I think about it. Leave a suggestion. I'm watching kind of anything and everything these days now that I have this channel. Michael, Lucien, Matt Smith, Jared Leto, they played off each other well, I thought. Then you had the slight, love interest of Jared Leto's character, and, she was fine, but this movie didn't really have super high stakes. I feel like it just flew by. It comes in at just under 2 hours, but I feel like the movie just flew by. And the stakes weren't super high. It's okay, I'm sick, I need to get healthy. I created a cure, now I'm evil, now my friend's evil, now we're gonna try and kill each other. And that's the movie. Not great from a writing standpoint as far as being super invested in it. I'm not gonna blame that on the actors. I mean, that's the writing and that's Sony, and Sony kind of has a history of not making great content when it comes to this Spider-Man universe. Bottom line, this movie's watchable. It's a watchable movie. It's entertaining. It's not, I'm sorry. I watched War of the Worlds a week or so ago, and you can see that review. I absolutely I ripped it apart. I mean, when it's a bad movie, I will just splatter it with hate that it's a bad movie. Morbius was cheesy, but has some cool effects, and I've always been kind of a fan for things vampire related. Not your mythical sense of vampires, I should say. It's not, not that Blade's a mythical sense, but it's a little bit more in tune with the real vampire lore. One thing I actually did like about this movie, like a scene, like a segment of the movie that I really liked the whole subway fight that they had. Matt Smith's character and Jared Leto's character, like just going throughout the whole subway and down the escalator and just keep fighting each other. And then there's that kind of slow motion scene where you got Matt Smith's character just running in slow-mo towards him, full vamp face. And Jared Leto's still kind of getting in tune with like his powers, I could call him, or his senses that he's getting now that he has that bat DNA infused with his own human DNA. And he kind of sees like the sound waves, and he like feels the air, and he jumps in front of that subway train and he starts like flying. I actually thought, some people maybe thought that was cheesy. I actually thought it was kind of cool. I thought it was kind of cool. Overall, I enjoyed it. It was a fun Sunday, just, you know, hey, let me just throw something on and watch it and be entertained for almost 2 hours. And that's what it did. It kept me entertained. The post-credit scenes, those, I had to look up the explanation to them because I couldn't remember the timing of when this came out, but essentially Adrian Toome, who played Vulture in Spider-Man Homecoming, portrayed by Michael Keaton, he just appears in a jail cell and he's like, oh, it must have had something to do with Spider-Man. And I was like, oh yeah, there was that spell. So that's something I'll have to go back and watch and just kind of refresh my memory. But those post-credit scenes, it's probably going to lead to nothing. We'll probably never see Morbius again, even though we teased the love interest becoming a vampire like himself. Would I want to see another Morbius? I actually wouldn't mind it. I would give it a chance because I feel like there's nuggets of good in this movie. Do I think it's great? No. Do I think it's good? Do I think it's watchable? Yes. And that's the main thing with movies. Not every movie is amazing. The new Jurassic Park, it wasn't amazing, but it was entertaining. Had really cool scenes in it, had parts that were fun and like, you know, like, oh, on the edge of your seat, like, oh, is the T-Rex gonna get her? Like, you know. Was it a great movie though? Is it gonna win Oscars? Probably not, but it was entertaining. At the end of the day, that's really all that matters to these movie studios and to fans. And I think the hate for it, those are the people on YouTube that just, you know, they wanna make the thumbnail that's like, oh, worst movie ever. And they're just like swearing and cussing, like, oh, I can't believe Sony made them, blah, 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 blah. Not every movie can be amazing. That's just the truth of things. And I thought this movie was watchable. It was entertaining. Jared Leto, he did a fine job in the movie. Matt Smith, again, huge Matt Smith fan. Doctor Who, give it up for him. He's great. Excited to see him in more things, but those are my thoughts on Morbius. I didn't think it was that bad. I don't think it deserved all the hate that it got, but hey, maybe that's an unpopular opinion, but what did you think of Morbius? I'd like to hear what you guys thought down in the comments. That's it. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that little like button. It'd do me a lot of good. It's a small channel, help me grow. And I will catch you guys on the next one. And if you have a suggestion for me to do my So I Finally Watched series, let me know and I'll give it a watch. I'll tell you what I thought about it. Later, guys. Bye.